Yeah, and I think that we also have this idea that every job has to be able to support a family of 4, and it's like, but if every job is supposed to be like that, you're gonna do is get rid of the jobs that lead to be having the skills to actually support the family of 4. Like, if I
Right.
needed to get paid $15 an hour to be a sales associate at a retail store when I started off, guess what? I wouldn't have gotten hired. But because I was working for, $5 an hour plus commission, so if I didn't make the commission, it would be, the 7.25 minimum wage. I was an affordable person, and that's
Mhm.
what gave me the skill set. I mean, I ended up staying there for 6 years, worked my way through college because I was able to get that job as a junior in high school. But that wouldn't be the case, I don't think, if I mean, they would have just automated my job away. They would have
Right.
had a
Yeah.
robot going to grab the shoes for people.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is just one of those perverse incentives that the government has set up. And I would say many of them probably have good intentions. I don't want to ascribe evil motives to them, but they just have a faulty understanding of incentives and how the economy actually works. Well, if you mandate a $15 living wage because you believe that's a just wage all across the United States at one time, or irrespective of cost of living, you're effectively killing off those jobs of the lowest wage earners, and it's creating just even more barriers for people to be able to do what you said, which is work their way up the ladder.
hmm Yeah, I wonder how many of our senators and Congress people actually had to like work a minimum wage job to get their start in life. I just it seems to me that there's quite a few who, and probably an overwhelming majority, whose first job was like, you know, for them by, I mean, just like if you look at the Bushes or the Clintons, I feel like everyone kind of had a pretty easy path to,
Many of them did. I know one of
not
my
all.
senators, Senator Tillis, he talks about how he didn't even get his college degree till I think he was like 38 or
Yeah.
something like that, 36. And yeah, he did work a lower wage job, but a lot of them, I mean, yeah, a lot of them are Ivy League. They came with a silver spoon in a lot of
Mhm.
ways. And so there is this idea that, oh, I'm doing this to help the poor, but have they spent much time around the poor, or their constituents even, that would actually suffer from these policies that
Mhm.
they just, in their mind, it just gives them all the feels, makes them feel real good about it. But in reality, it's anything but good
Mhm.
for those people.
I remember one of my history teachers one time noticing the fact that, I think it was Roosevelt. She's like, FDR just did so much stuff for the poor because he was rich and he wanted to help the poor. But Andrew Jackson was, trying to close down the bank and do all these things that were anti-poor. And I'm like, I don't know if Andrew Jackson was actually anti-poor. It's just like it's funny because grew up an orphan and poor and didn't regard them. I'm like, I just think you don't understand how to help the poor.
Right.
Really,
Yeah.
like, and so she
That's
was
the
a lovely
difference
lady,
between
but
having a heart for the poor and a mind for the poor.
yep.
So,
Yeah, my mom always says if you don't, what is it? If you're not liberal when you're a kid, you don't have a heart. If you're not conservative when you're an adult, you don't have a mind. And so I guess I didn't have a heart as a kid because I
have you always been a conservative?
probably, yeah, probably always a conservative libertarian, but that's because I remember like being 8 and sitting on my dad's lap, like looking at his Scott trade and him explaining to me stocks as best that you can
Oh
to an 8-year
my,
old. So,
that's pretty cool.
yeah. So, but yeah, I do think though that as far as the distributist like capitalist idea goes, I would like to see a more distributed economy, and I think that that is a good end, like to allow people to have that opportunity. I